Hey, I'm Captain Eddie. I'm in the shop today and I've got to fix a little bit of a problem. It involves a couple of good tips and a turning idea for you. But first, here's a shop tip for today. You of course have a shield or safety glasses or something else to protect your eyes. And it kind of gets crudted up. I do a lot of wet turning. I love wet wood. And you probably do too. Well, keeping the shield clean and keeping it dust free is a problem. Well, I like to keep it treated. So I do this to the shield and to my regular reading glasses, and this product fills in the cracks, takes away the glare, keeps from fogging up, and it's not a miracle product. You'll be surprised. It's called Son of a Gun, and it's used on protectants, shines of protection of vinyl, rubber, and plastics manufactured by STP Corporation. Yes, that's those Dagos in Indianapolis that make all that stuff for cars. STP. Granadelli, you're one of those guys? Okay. And hey, if you got a name like Granadelli, you're a Dago. Alright. STP, Son of a Gun. Now I've been using this, it's experimental. I've only been using this for about 15 years on my eyewear. And I don't live without it. I go in the shop, in the house at night from the shop, and I spray my glasses, these, the ones I wear every day. I spray them with STP, wipe them off with a tissue paper, and I replace my eyewear less often than I did before. I have less fogging, less scratches. Items like paint, glue, and other gook don't stick to them. It's amazing. And it doesn't hurt the plastic. Really doesn't. Still experimental. After 15 years, I'm still experimenting with this. But it's called STP's Son of a Gun. Son of a Gun. It's like Armor All, but in a yellow bottle. I found it at, of all places, Walmart. Alright, now, that's the tip of the day. Been saving that one for you. Now, here. My project is really fix up of screw up. I made this little bobbin box. I call it a bobbin box. Ladies that do embroidery work, they use thread. And they keep the thread in a little box. And they pull it out, snip off a piece, and they do this little sewing thing. Alright, and these little boxes I made one for my wife. And this is a piece of Castillo basswood. And it was fine. She put it on a table and she'd pull the thread out. Well, then I made one for one of her friends, and I made it a little bit snugger. Not a lady fit, just a little bit snugger, to where the lid didn't come off. And then her friend wanted one, and I made one for her another friend. And she wanted hers a little bit snugger. So I put an O-ring on it. To when you put it on, it kind of snapped down a little bit, and you'd have to pop it off. Well, it didn't get a vacuum because there's a hole in the top. Well, guess what the wife wants now? She wants the original one to have an O-ring on it. So it snaps. So now I got to chuck it back up again. So here's the deal. I'm going to hold this in my one-way stronghold, chuck it back up, cut a receiver, put the O-ring on it. Oh, the O-ring comes from a hardware store in the plumbing aisle. I'm going to put the O-ring on it. Then I want to chuck up the lid and put a negative on the lid to where, not a depression, just a little bit of a negative, to where it will slip over the O-ring and give a little negative. You got it? So we do this first, because this is where the ring goes, and it's going to be a little bit proud, and then we do this to fit it. Okay? How do we hold it? If I put it in these jars, and bear with me here because I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Alright. Okay. Now, we reset the camera. This is my one-way, my profile jaws. And I want to hold this. Now, if I just open up my jaws and set this box in there and clamp down on it, I'm going to have some jar marks on that box, right? So, okay, chukey number one, and chukey is a Cajun term for jackleg number one, would be to put padding around it. That's a soft grab, and if I'm cutting out here and I get a catch, it'll spin out, and then I got to hold it again and fix the catch. Alright? The better way would be to come up with a firmer grab. So let's go to a firmer grab, and let's use a plastic band to go around it. Now, where did I get this fine plastic band in almost the exact right size? Well, look closely and imagine a paint can underneath here and the dome cap over the top of it. Yeah, that's the cover off of a paint can. Took a pair of tin snips and cut it off. And it fits just about perfect size. It's preformed to be a circle. I push this in. Now this has got to go back against here. How do I keep it back in there when I tighten it down? I'm going to bring up my revolving center. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this piece. Now, I'm telling you what, if you're really good at chucks and all, you can probably do this against a regular faceplate and get away with it with revolving center. But I'm doing this for you guys that are learning and practicing, so you want to get better habits. Now, I've got it up, I've got the band against it, all the jaws are touching this. I tighten it just a little bit. Now that's pretty tight. I can go ahead now and put my receiver in there. Look, true as can be. Reposition the camera and show you what I plan on doing. Oh yeah, by the way, the remote's still in the plastic bag. Told you about that. For this, I'm going to use this multi-tool by Eli Avasara. Hamlet Tools made it for him. See, it says signature brand. You can't read that, can you? Look. It's even written in Israeli on the bottom, Eli Avasara, and if you can read that, it says, "He who uses this is expert." That's what it says there. I'm absolutely certain. He charged me extra for it because it said that. But Hamlet made them, and it's just a simple multi-tool. If you don't have this, get a piece of tool steel and make some round steel, a little negative grind, and the presentation's unique. Straight up and down. That's what I have, straight up and down. I'm just going to go in here, find that low edge, go in, and then give it a little twist. I'm just putting a little bit of a curve. Flip it on the other side, straight up and down. Go in and clean it up a little bit. Some folks hate this little tedious type of work, but that's all it takes to put the little groove for that gasket in there. And then we're going to snap the gasket in. Easier, quite easier said than done. And now we got to go find the gasket because it flew off someplace. We're back with the gasket, or O-ring, pardon me. Alright, snap it on. It's not that proud of it, but it is a little bit higher than I'd like to have it, which means I'm going to have to take too much off the lid. So we get this out the way, we go a little bit deeper and a little bit wider with the cut. And you just have to really play with this a little to make it right. Now this is where people mess up because they want to rush. But it's the same thing all over again. A little bit of a cut. And because since I made this box probably 3 months ago, the wood has moved a slight bit. There, you see? I've got a little irregularity. I'm going to twist a little bit early and get rid of that. Now, I've made a little bit wider and a little bit deeper. I'm going to try to get this in here without losing it again. There. Now, I'm just barely proud of the surface. Let's get rid of this and get the lid. Now, this time, when I had the cone the other direction, I couldn't go inside because the lid's too shallow, so I'm going to go outside and get this out the way. I'm going to bring this up, and it just does go over the outside of the lid. Nifty how that fitted a little bit. I'm going to loosen up the lid a little bit, and I don't want to push hard, but I just want to spin a little bit. Yep, now I know it's kind of revolving smoothly, and a little bit of tension. Then I'm going to back it off and take a look at it. It's running very true. All these gizmos and gadgets you wonder about, they're all nifty if you use them. So that gets out the way, and now, look, that's running true. I'd be fooling with it all day long trying to get it true the other way. There you go. Now, next we make a minute ago, I tried it, and the lid would not have, this would not have went into the lid. I need a little bit of relief on the overall cover. I use another Eli Avasara tool. This is a small B-Dan or multi-tool. And I sharpened it up just now because I'll cut as much on the shoulder as I will on a point. I'm going to go in now, find that shoulder and clean it up a little bit, and then go a little bit negative. And go down to the bottom and clean it up. Go find it, go a little negative, go down to the bottom and clean it up. This is where it gets a little tedious, because just about the time you think one more cut will do it, the last cut was enough. So we're going to stop it. If I do too many of these, I'm going to stop the video, but see, I'm almost there. It's a little bit too tight. Waxing won't help, because if the wax wears off or binds up, then you have a problem. So I'm going to keep cutting at this and I'll show you what happens. Alrighty. Well, just so you know, it works. Got it where it a little bit snugger. That's what she wanted. So when I put the lid on, and if it falls over on a table, it won't come off. That's what we're looking for. But just to be honest with you, I had to change the O-ring to one that was a little bit bigger. Yep. When I turned the camera off, I told you I had to wait and make one more cut, because the last one was probably, you heard it. Well, it was big enough. I needed to stop the one before and check it. So it does pay to check it a little bit early, but I don't have any marks. It worked the way I wanted it to work. There's not a mark on the box. So right now all I do is wax it back up, buff it back up again, and it can go back into being used. And it's perfectly good. So today you learned another chucking technique thanks to the ring off of a spray can cap. Now I would do that with a piece of PVC pipe, but I have to walk down to the hardware store, get a piece of PVC pipe, cut it off, chuck it, make it thinner so it'd be more flexible and all that, and I had the paint pen cap and the overhead. So that's using available resources. Anyway, that goes to the trash can when I open up the paint can. Well, hope it was helpful to you today. Showed you a tip, gave you another tip, turned a little something, made some shavings. In fact, that's what it's all about. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan, and we are making shavings. You be safe now, and just about the time you're there, you practically are. Be good. Oh, if you need me, this address right here, just drop me a note and I'll be glad to help you. Oh yeah, woman's gonna be happy again. Yeah, I like that.